Hello, mech fans. This is Duncan Fisher. Hold on firmly to your mana potions, fireballs, and familiars, because you are tuning in to your regularly scheduled episode of the First Circuit Podcast.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the First Circuit Podcast, episode 112,000. Today we have myself, Lars, the casual Mechwarrior, back from a short hiatus, and along with us we have Old Bob 10025.
Hey.
Hey Bob, and we got Biter.
Larg.
Larg indeed, and Ian.
Good morning, everyone.
Good and talk to you as well. So, for today's topics, we have just a whole bunch all together, but just to boil them down to the simplest components, we got four big things to talk about, which are the Mechwarrior online news and what is happening for its future, some streamer news along with the Mechwarrior online community, some Battletech KickStarter updates, and some ongoing Mechwarrior 5 news and what's happening there. So, what do we got, guys?
I forgot to take off my wrist things from the hospital.
Don't worry, Bob. That's character. It's fine.
It's character.
It just leaves mystery for the audience.
Yes.
Who are watching.
Yes, and actually, for those who are just joining in today, Bob last night is back from a short episode. Glad to have you back, Bob, from the hospital, and you're doing well.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm doing very well. Thank you. That's a
Good.
lot of growing pain, but yeah, doing good though, man. Thank you. Thanks.
Wait. Growing or groin pain?
Groin pain.
Oh, okay.
Don't
He's a young
get me
lad.
into
He's-
detail.
Yeah. Basically,
He's a young spiffing lad growing up still.
I'm growing
He's
still.
very young, Bob.
Well, maybe it's about his belly growing up.
Oh yes. Basically, stuck a catheter like up my groin and up to my heart and popped
much.
some.
And that's way too much information.
Okay,
Let's
they put some
move
dye
on
in my
to
heart,
Mechwarrior
and
Online.
I had to put a
Ian,
stent
you're
in.
weak. Yeah, but anyway, we're glad to have you back and
Thanks, man. Thank you.
all in one piece. So.
Thanks.
All right, so I guess just to kind of go off, let's just boil down this Mechwarrior online stuff here. So, who here has been doing the event? Anyone?
No.
I tried for like 6 matches, and it was interesting. 6 times go run around the same spot, 6 times people crying over comms about how they lost, and I tried 6 times, and then after that I went to go play. I think it was a World War Z or Gen Zero. I forgot like which one. I tried. At least I tried.
Oh yeah,
I've tried exactly one game. Coming from Mechwarrior 5, Mechwarrior 5 cool kind of. Well, I didn't enjoy Mechwarrior 5 at some point, so I went back to Mechwarrior Online, and I realized, holy crap, those two games control so differently. I couldn't aim for shit.
Yeah.
And then I kind of just left it. I was frustrated.
interesting. Well, I know I hopped in last night since I actually did a stream with a few people last night, and we played for about 2 hours. And yeah, I mean, it's the free swag bag. You can go in and get some free stuff. Again, as always, if you go in solo, you're gonna have a bad time because it's just gonna be the usual people complaining. But as long as you can find a group queue, which this will kind of segue into the next topic really, and we'll get into it later. But group queue seems to be getting back on its feet again, which is nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right,
It's a good
so,
thing.
what has been going on, or what is still going on? At the time of this episode going live, you're still gonna have one more day to participate in the Winter War event and sale. I guess for me, the most interesting part, obviously, is the sale of all engines being 50% off and some additional stuff. As for the event, you guys who've actually played it, like Lars, I think, what's your opinion about that?
Okay, so here's the thing: is that when it comes to events, I think we've just grown so numb to them that my opinion is really not much of an opinion on events anymore. Only because it's just I play and I get free stuff, but the free stuff anymore, it doesn't seem like it's of any consequence. Maybe is that a bad way to put it? Is that sure, I'm getting free sea bills, which I mean I've been playing for about 3.5 years now. I feel like I've got enough sea bills to fill my whole entire bank. So it's just me just putting more sea bills into my pool of already accumulated sea bills. Again, I think there's always some war horns that they give out.
Yeah.
Maybe use some cockpit items, and those are probably the only things I really play for are just the cockpit items. Everything else, it's there. It's just to me, it's a novelty. But at this point anymore, I'm just playing for fun.
Yeah, I always like the MC since
Yeah.
you get a little bit every week and it slowly builds up, and those sales you can buy Hero Max mech bays and whatnot, and it's always good. It's that they're offering MC, which this event is offering about 400.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
bad. Yeah.
That's actually not too bad. Yeah.
Although they have one event called I Did This, which is destroy one UAV, so I don't like
Yep.
this already. But you know, like the free C bills, you can always use free C bills. That's not a big deal. And the MC, I always play for the MC once you have an MC like event. I haven't been playing lately because I've been doing like other things. But I mean, like, all in all, though, I mean that's one of the things about PGI that I loved was, I mean, literally they give out free stuff. They're here. Here's some MC. Here's some premium time. You really don't have to spend money to I mean, do spend money, guys, like if you can, to go support a game that you actually love. But you really, you know, basically, if you're just playing for free, just kind of just want to just relax and kind of get around, you can play these types of games and these different types of events and have fun with it, and also get some stuff from it too. It's free swag.
They're at least putting some effort into the game and always giving you a reason to come back if you're
Yeah.
wanting
Yeah.
MC. There's also premium time, plenty of C-bills. Yeah, there'll be plenty of people who sort of only sort of seen Mechwarrior 5 and are perhaps picking up Mechwarrior Online.
Mhm.
And so these events giving them extra freebies is pretty swag.
Yeah,
Though,
so there is a good point because I have seen people on Reddit actually say, "I'm a new player. What do I do?" And this actually is a good opportunity just to kind of get your foot in, just to get
yeah,
some free C bills. Yeah.
only thing is, if you have a whole bunch of new players, you want to make these events a bit more simple to do because
Mhm.
there's a fair number here that a lot of them are combining completely different challenges. So sort of just simple, get so much damage with like energy, what's it, missile weapons, and shoot down things with AMS. Well, if you're a new player, you might not even have a missile mech, and there's a lot of various little bits and pieces combined together. Like at the very bottom, it's 100 MC is locked behind getting KMDDs in lights, mediums, heavies, and assaults,
Yeah.
which is
Mhm.
fine for us vets, but not so much if you're a new player, because at best for the most part you're going to be just doing it with the trial mechs. You've got to get
Yeah.
KMDDs with those.
At least there's something there for the new players to actually get into it, and that's one of the greatest things that I love. Like I told you, is just they give away stuff for free. You know, it's like, here, take this, take this, take this. It's like, cool, and that's what kind of
Yep.
like brought me into the game itself, was how, because you know, I don't have a lot of money, and basically like I play for fun a lot of times, but it's kind of nice to get those extra things.
Yeah. There's maybe
I
one thing that
played. Yeah.
there's maybe one thing I would like to see for these kind of events going on in the next coming weeks, where we still have somewhat of an influx of new player, which would be mech base. I think that's
Mhm.
something PGI should look at, because mech base are obviously the most. I'm not. I kind of want to say grindy, but also mech base are the one way that PGI actually sells MC,
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
it's the
Yeah.
one reason why you kind of have to buy MC at some point. So I would like to see them give away like one or two, not many, but a small number, a new player.
Yeah, because actually it was just a few days ago. I still do lurk on Reddit, but there was a person who just began playing, and the post was titled "New player here. Do I need to buy mech bays?" So yeah, so it's one of those things where it actually is good to go ahead and yes, give out some mech bays, because I think and especially myself, we tend to forget as an older player who's played this game for a while, we kind of forgot how much of a grind this game
Mhm.
really was when you first
Mhm.
started out, especially now with the new skill tree. Because back then we didn't even have a skill tree. We
Oh, but do
did, but
you
it was
Yeah.
different.
remember the old system though, where you had to
Oh,
get 3 variants
Oh
yeah,
God,
to max it
yeah,
out,
that too.
and you start with like 4 mech bays?
Hmm.
that was horrific, man. That was horrific.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
maybe it'd
it's
be good for the next event. Give us some mech bays for all the newbies out there.
you can of course
Or
always buy the mech bays for MC, and at least with the new year coming
Yeah.
across, they had 50% off everything, which included mech bays.
Hmm.
But yeah, more mech bays is a good idea. I agree.
here's also another revolutionary idea. Ins- Increase the cadet bonus and add in some MC.
Increase the what bonus?
The
Repeat
cadet
that.
bonus. When you do a new account, the first 25 matches, you gain extra C-bills, I
Oh
think
yeah,
up
yeah.
to like 15-ish million, enough to buy and kit up a heavy assault mech.
Mm-hmm.
And you could easily just add in some MC there, because that's where you kind of get new people hooked on MC. You basically show them, like, this is MC, this is what you can get with MC, and hey, give us some more MC and you can get more cool stuff.
Yeah,
Hey,
most
hey kid, you
free-to-play
want to
games.
get some free MC? It's free.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly
most
like that.
free-to-play
still gotta
games
work
do
for
give
it.
you some premium currency to start with. That is true. So they
Yeah.
want to show you what you can do with it.
So I guess so much for the Winter War
Yeah.
event and sale. It's gonna be over fairly soon.
Yeah.
What's still gonna be going on for another week is
It's a-
the Lunar New Year bonus event,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Double
that actually
XP.
an event or is it just the double XP?
Well, they have are they gonna have like kill 2 UAVs, you get something special for that, since it is coming out like at the day of what we're doing now?
It doesn't really look like it. It looks like it's just a double XP week, essentially.
Okay, that's it then. Okay, well, yeah, hey, I'm
5
still
days
double.
of double XP.
But for new players, though, that's still very good.
Actually, that's
But
the
with
problem
the skill
though.
tree, it
Yeah.
makes you broke.
It makes you broke
Oh,
really
well,
quick, really quick.
Yeah, that's right. Again, experienced player. I forgot because we got all those free nodes
Mhm.
from the old system. I forgot you got to pay C-bills to
Yeah.
get that nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a trap for a new player when they're like, okay, I'm gonna start out, I'm gonna buy my first mech, and then they start earning XP, and then they have this where they get double XP, and maybe they can even convert some more XP. And then they spend their C-bills they get from the cadet bonus because early on they don't realize how valuable C-bills actually are.
Mm-hmm.
So after their 25 games, they have their medium mech kitted out, skill tree maxed out, and then they're broke. And then they have to spend the next 200, 300 games in that one medium mech to save up for the next mech.
All right. So in that case, so let's just take a real quick minute. So just for the sheer sake of it, for a new person who might be watching, well, what is your best optimal way to play this week? Do you think, if you're brand
Really?
new?
It's really easy. Don't spend money unless you specifically know what you want to get.
Yeah.
Like play those first 25 games of the cadet bonus. Use those trial mechs. They're not as good as custom mechs, but they're still fairly solid, and they certainly give you a feel of what you want. Don't spend your C-bills before you play it. At least every trial mech once.
True. Yeah. True.
Yeah,
And-
because yeah, go ahead.
well, like I was gonna say, like, and then once you actually get past the 25 games, maybe a couple more, figure out what you want to use or what type of thing.
Mhm.
Like I'm a medium pilot, like I like the medium mechs. Like other people have different preferences as far as different sizes, and so figure out what type of mech you want to use, and then hopefully watch a bunch of videos about that type of mech, because there's a ton of videos like out there, and go, okay, that's the mech I'm gonna go play, and then purchase that, and then start working on that one.
Yeah, and
We
then I
have
think
at least discussed this as what your first mech should be, and we usually say mechs like the Huntsman or the
Yeah.
Nova.
Mhm.
Planned mechs, you don't have to fiddle around with engines or upgrades or anything like that. All you're doing is switching out the hard points and playing with the tonnage available.
Yeah, and then one also thing I think we also may be forgetting is that when you are in the actual store in game, before you buy that mech, you can actually view its loadout and do a test run in
Yes.
training grounds. So that's actually one thing that's a teeny bit newer that older players like us didn't have. So mainly, if you know what kind of mech you want to be and be like a speedy mech, or because like I think for me like the biggest part of finding a new mech is its movement
Yeah.
along with its grouping of weapons. So the best thing you can do is that find out if you're like a light, medium, heavy assault, go to the store, and of course do some research beforehand. Don't spend your C-bills, but take that like hour or two and find out which mech you might want to go into and check it out in training grounds before you buy it.
Again, we do have to say though, the pictures they put with those events are really good.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's great job on that. I love that with the moon
Yeah,
in the
Matt-
background.
Matt Newman, you're doing a good job. Thank you for keeping the page alive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
He does good work.
Yes, he does.
Except for the Biorani games, we're still hiring part.
What are you talking about? Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, we gotta explain it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the Mechwarrior Online page, they put up the "We're hiring" banner down on the footer. Like I think they did that first time they ever put up the new Mechwarrior Online page, like 5 years ago or so. And well, back then they were hiring, and recently they were hiring, but they're not hiring right now because there are no open positions.
Yeah.
But the banner is still there.
Yeah.
Yay.
Well, that may update in some sort of future, so that's probably there as like a placeholder at least.
Who knows?
Who knows? All right. So, okay, so that's pretty much like the main two events happening. But there was the championship series and the roundup. Now, I really didn't watch a whole lot about this, but did you guys follow it at all?
No,
No?
no.
Nope, I read
No,
the
not
results
really.
and that's about it.
I mean, that's not my game. That's not my scene, basically. So, like, don't really pay that much attention. But it's cool they're doing that. It's really nice they're doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and now it's all rounded up. All of these teams listed will, I think, get their rewards, and in total it's like 48 teams. So it's about 400 or so people, 500 people maybe playing competitive, which is a fair number of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
considering
Uh,
the actual amount of players in the game, I mean, that's not bad.
yeah, on the player numbers, they do mention that one of the teams actually struggled
Oh,
with their player numbers throughout the tournament, and they still got third place.
oh.
Also, one other little funny thing to mention, they link to the MWO League's YouTube channel, except it doesn't work.
Oh,
Oh,
Well,
wow.
that's kind of
yeah.
awkward.
And it goes to the old YouTube format. It's like, huh,
Wow.
is it gonna
That's
be weird?
interesting.
It's very close, but instead of like / videos, they've done %20 or whatever, which is something. I think it's trying to
Oh,
find a different channel, so it's just like nope.
yeah, whoops.
So yeah, the comp queue is up and everything. So that's actually like I said, it's not my scene, but hey, it's cool they're doing that kind of stuff. What is next?
All right, so next is that we're going into streamer stuffs, which no guts, no galaxy. They are no longer part of PGI.
Yeah, yeah. I saw this that day, and it was like a bomb drop. But it's interesting to see what the future is of Mechwarrior Online when their main people who are promoting it or the face of Mechwarrior Online and what they'll be doing from now on. I know Sean's doing his own channel, doing his thing, and then Bombadil's I think jumped in MCU, which is another Mechwarrior streaming group, the most famous one like out there basically, and it's going to be interesting throughout the year and see what's going to happen with Mechwarrior Online without their face, their face of like MWO. What do you guys think?
So yeah, I've generally been like um, the No Guts No Galaxy crew have not been involved in MechWarrior 5,
Mm.
and for the most part, their
Mhm.
role has been every weekend or Friday at least doing a stream, which is posted on the MWO uh, website.
Yeah.
Um, I think they were not necessarily like full-on employees with Piranha Games. I can be completely wrong, of
Yeah.
course, but as far as I'm aware,
We had
they were
Darren.
contractors.
Yeah, we had Darren on earlier on. They were freelancers,
Yeah.
and their main job was basically the community management part, so
Mhm.
managing the forums, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And with Piranha Games obviously shifting focus towards MechWarrior 5, they're obviously not going to want to invest so much into people looking after MWO, since that's not necessarily their bread and butter looking forward. So it was expected that this sort of happened, but No Guts, No Galaxy, they're still very interested in Battletech franchise and whatnot, and still do streams, which are still
Yeah.
posted on the website. They just might not be
Yeah.
being paid anymore so much for it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so in a sense, yeah, so they're probably still going to do content, but they're going to be kind of like more like us who just make content for the heck of it because they enjoy the franchise.
True.
Yep.
True. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see who's gonna be in charge to manage all the shields in the future.
Yeah, because that's going to be interesting because didn't they do a pretty good amount of stuff when it came to like marketing for
Yep.
the game and everything? Yeah, I mean
Yep.
they were it.
Yeah, Bobbadil was in charge to manage stuff like he's a MechWarrior online streamer. We're gonna make sure he's always provided with the newest mech packs, stuff like that, so we can show them off.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess since they're not planning on releasing new mech packs soon, I guess they don't need that role anymore.
Yeah,
But
but
still, it kind of throws shade onto their plans for MechWarrior Online if they're quote unquote getting rid of their MechWarrior Online public relations guys.
I mean, I like the guys. They're actually really cool guys. Bombadil's a really
Yeah.
nice guy.
Yeah, because I know just from the few times I've talked with them, I think, because back when I was part of Aces, we used to do a podcast, and he was on a while ago with us, and I think he actually moved, like his basically because he didn't live near PGI or anything like that. Like I think he moved like closer to him, like back in the day even.
Wow.
But yeah, but that's a whole other side story. But yeah, but those two guys, hey, we'll be glad to see them continue on doing their content.
Definitely.
Like I mean, I'm pretty sure as anyone who's been playing Mechwarrior Online and still follows the game, like they're still going to be very supportive of them, and probably them back to us as well. Okay, we got team drop queue events for and from streamers. This is a BrioS video posted in the chat.
Yeah. From what I understand, I wasn't part of it. I was doing other things, but all the streamers from MCU and a bunch of other ones actually got together to bring back group queue, because obviously group queue was one of the things that I avoided at all costs, because it was like 60 minutes of waiting for a group, and then when you do fight groups, they were like, so powerful that it's just like you didn't want to play anymore. That's why a lot of people are doing solo queues, and then they go and say 3, 2, 1, then everyone else jumps with them to be on the same thing, be on the same team. And so with this, they decided to go ahead and do this, and this is actually a good thing for Mechwarrior Online. Every Friday, they're going to be doing group queues, and a bunch of streamers, a bunch of people getting together, playing the game, having a good time. And that's one of the things that the game definitely does need, and that's what these guys are doing for the group queue.
Yeah, and I'm actually pretty glad that they are doing it. It seems like they're going like a more casual route. It's not like they're doing it to go ahead and just, be the best people they can be, which is like I really like that idea. It helps people get into the game a little bit easier if you are new to the community. And actually I didn't really even know they were doing this, and I figured I'd played the game for the first time in like a few months last night. To do my usual Friday night group drops. Now, and for a while, I was just doing the sync drops, and I just did, and then and actually that's all I did. That's all I did last night. But once I left the sync drop and I ended my stream, I realized, oh wow, there's a lot of people on Twitch all of a sudden, and they're all doing group queue, and it's actually functioning the way it should.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad that they are doing this kind of thing on Fridays. If that's the case, I'll probably begin doing it on my Discord, because last night we actually had a good amount of people do sync drops, and then for a while we had like people like Stray came in and a few others last night on Discord, so we had a good time.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was actually a lot of fun. Like I haven't had that much fun in a while in this game, because the community seems to be reviving after the MechWarrior 5 hype has dropped down a little bit.
True.
Let's just hope it keeps going.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now, I guess the one thing we're gonna have to, figure out is that when it comes to these town halls or whatever that they do from PGI, I'm really curious to what kind of announcement they're gonna have for the game.
Yeah, I guess this would be a good point to mention. Was promised us in one of the AMAs last year on the dev update. He mentioned that they would do a major, maybe AMA, maybe just big post talking about the future of Mechwarrior Online, what their plans are in January. So far, we haven't seen anything, so I also wouldn't expect anything sometime soon. But I'm still hoping that they remember to do it, PGI, and don't just forget about it, and hopefully deliver us something very soon.
Well, let's take a look here, because I know since I follow Russ on Twitter, he did mention something, I think, recently.
Yeah, he mentioned a different AMA, which is going to be announced next week, but that's for later on.
Yeah, and because there's that, and there have been people asking him on Twitter, like, and he has responded and said, yes, there's going to be something in the works. I know we're getting to the very tail end of January, but I've kind of gotten used to this, like, working on PGI time, where things are maybe not the exact date that they do it. So, but hey, as long as it comes out maybe within the next month, I'll be happy.
Nah, hey guys, we moved the button in the Orion from 1 inch from here over to here. We did something.
I really hope it's like they're like I'm not. So I guess maybe to just theorize for a little bit. I'm not expecting a lot to be brought into this game. Like, I think the game is pretty much fleshed out for the most part. I'm just hoping they might discuss like maybe like one mech pack for the year. I'd be happy if they had like just one at least to be kind of nice. Because I really like how they had their PGI original mechs. Like the Roughneck and the Sunspooter. I really enjoy those too. Maybe they could just have one for the year. I don't know, instead of doing like once every month. But I want to see them try to work with the bucket system or the queuing of players. That's what I want to see if they might work on, but that's just me.
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess the one thing Mechwarrior, like I agree with you, Mechwarrior Online is a pretty fleshed out game at this point, which, as we've talked about earlier, is also kind of its downfall because there's just not so much stuff happening anymore because balance is kind of balanced. There's not so much you can do. So I'm really hoping for some plans regarding events, maybe some story, but like anything to try in the player.
Yeah, like I see that being more of like a focus is like main events where because I feel like when games reach that point where they've done all their main development, they have to do things like big events or releasing one big thing for the year instead of doing like monthly patches. Since they was since that was like that was the way they used to do it. I want to see them just have like one big thing for the year, and that's what I'd be happy to see. But hey, who knows? We're just talking out of our butts at this point.
Yeah, as far as MWO goes, it certainly has. It feels like it has more longevity than Mechwarrior 5. At least if you look at Twitch viewership, MWO dropped a fair bit, but I think it's Mechwarrior 5. It spiked and then it disappeared very quickly. So now MWO is getting back to its more original position, which is good, and I think that's why we need things like this Friday group drop stream to reinvigorate the game. As for game balance and such, I think it is pretty well balanced, but I still wouldn't mind them tinkering with values and trying to make less valuable mechs useful. So mechs like the Viper, they gave some survivability buffs, but only if you take less hard points on a mech that can't really take any weapons in the first place. I think things like that still need a lot of help. Heat scale limit is a great example of a quirk that you can put into a game into Mechwarrior Online that doesn't change everything. You don't need to change all medium lasers. You just need to make it so the medium laser hunchback can shoot 8 medium lasers at once, and all of a sudden the mech plays has its own unique niche. And personally, of course, the biggest change I would like is to unnerf the narcs, because that was ridiculous and a horrible nerf to me.
And only you.
And only you. It's purposely done against you, man.
Yes.
And group queues doing lerm drops, but even then you have enough narcos, it's not a problem.
True.
And the benefit of these changes is just simply that it does keep the game fresh, and you don't need to necessarily try big bombastic events, because I don't think PGI is necessarily the best at that. And when we do have events, it's they're doing things like everyone does ballistic weapons, and everyone just gets tired of being dackered.
yeah, like don't do events based on weapon types. Just do like
Yeah.
I might just think of something later and just tweet it to Russ and see if I get a response,
Yeah, it's just as we mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, we kind of got event fatigue where they figured out the kind of niche of just do damage with weapon types. Don't worry, you don't have to do it with just an AC2. You don't have to shoot down 10 UAVs. You just shoot down one. They've made sure that the events are all nice and simple, but it also means you just play the game and you'll get free stuff, and you slightly tailor your experience, but it doesn't actually reinvigorate the game for us. And that's why at least I like the idea of heat scale limits and other changes, just because that gives me a reason to go back to old mechs that I've left in the shed and bring them out for a change.
Ooh, other quick thought before you move on. Let's just say hypothetically, if they were to introduce not a mech pack or a mech, but a type of weapon, what would you want?
Oh no, not coil
They were
weapons.
for us.
Oh god.
Artillery.
Artillery?
Actually,
Artillery, long toms.
Artillery would potentially be interesting.
Balance
12
would
really
be weird.
It'd be like airstrikes all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this time you actually have to aim and do indirect fire.
Oh, so you mean like have the person control where it goes?
Yes.
kind of
Yes,
thing.
like mech-mounted artillery, like what Battletech is doing with the I forgot the name. Bull shark.
Yeah,
I
bullshit.
think that sounds too complicated for him. Like I would say, like it's got to be.
Would be
fun. I think you could take some inspiration from Mechwarrior 5 and introduce burst fire or single shot variations of Dakar weapons, things like that. You can also have shorter, longer duration burn medium lasers, for example.
Mhm.
So the one that takes a shorter duration has a shorter range, one which a longer duration has a longer range. Just things like that you can easily implement and just add more variety to the game.
Yeah,
that
because
makes
at
sense.
that
Yeah.
point, because it doesn't mean at that point it's just changing a number and adding like a color to it. You know,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
simple. Yeah, so I
Yeah,
think
you
that
don't
might
want
be a
too
way to
many
go.
colors with laser weapons.
Oh
You
man,
generally want.
dude, what are you talking about? I have that one mod where it basically turns like every other weapon to like a like its own unique color, and I love it.
All right, so what's the color of the medium laser or ER medium laser in a sphere?
I guess in my version, okay, so basically,
Your
okay, in my version, it's still green, but the mod changed it for heavy lasers. So heavy smalls are orange.
Yeah,
The heavy larges, I believe, are purple,
Hmm.
and I
yeah.
forget what heavy mediums are. But
It's
it just
just
looks nice.
as we are saying, if you wanted a color for every one, you've got inner sphere regular medium laser,
Oh,
ER medium laser, extended burn medium laser, shorter burn medium laser. Instead
I
of
want
just
to
one color,
see all
there's
the
four.
fireworks. I want to see all the fireworks.
Yeah, you could certainly make rainbow mechs out of that.
At
But
that
You
point,
just
just randomize it. Every time you fire, it's a
randomized.
That would make for an interesting game when you have no idea what other people are actually
That would
using.
be interesting. I'll
That
say
would
that.
be a really cool event. Just
Yeah,
putting
yeah,
this out there.
that would be an
That would be
event.
a really cool
Change
event.
all the color schemes.
oh
Throw
no, just
everyone off.
it gives the impression that PGI really doesn't care about the game anymore, when all the colors are random and all the sounds are random.
Oh my god,
Just
Oh, the
add more
sounds random.
randomness.
could
Yes.
you imagine if if they just did like, I know we're getting way off topic about this kind of stuff anymore, but just throwing things to the wind. Can you imagine if they had like one big event? It'd be like, yes, for this week, we're gonna have like AMS quirks will be like, times 20 to like everything, like just just do random stuff. Like that's what I want to see, just random stuff from here
I
on out.
think you have to think more like PGI, and I think
Yeah,
you
I
don't
know.
want to have everyone have this effect. What you do is you create a new bucket where everybody goes for these random new quirks and changes.
So
to the
basically,
game.
so basically, everyone, basically hits play, or whatever in the game. Some buckets will be just normal. One bucket will be like you are dropping into the like random match.
Well, when we say new buckets, it's you click faction play and you go into the faction play, or you click
Oh, yeah,
group
faction
queue.
play, right.
So it's different. It's completely separate queues. So the idea is
Yeah.
you click the let's just have fun button rather than quick play button.
Yeah, I'd be cool with that. Oh, you know what? Last thing before we really gotta move on. Maybe they should finally build up Solaris.
Do what again to it?
Build up Solaris.
I think that ship sailed, man. I really do.
No.
I think that ship sailed.
I kind of like the idea of what League of Legends has been doing recently. They originally introduced some new game modes that people really liked, but then those
your
game
mic-
modes.
Yeah, Mike went really like echo-ish.
Your webcam mic.
Yeah.
I think it's webcam now.
I'm so sorry.
There we go.
Am I
there
back
we
to
go.
normal?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
sorry
that's
about
normal.
So yeah, what League of Legends has been doing, they introduced a game mode which was successful but died out after a time. People returned to the normal play. And what they've done then is they circled out those additional modes. Like they have the base game, which in Mechwarrior would be quick play, and then they cycle out. Like you have 2 weeks of faction play, 2 weeks of competitive play, 2 weeks of the random mode with random colors and random sounds, and then 2 weeks of Solaris again, stuff like that. I think that might be interesting because it would reduce the buckets down to 2. It's just the question of whether the player base would enjoy that.
I don't know about that because people are being forced to play certain modes they really don't want to go play, and then they can't really play for 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, you always leave a quick play.
So
That's the important part.
if you were a faction play person, it used to be you could always just play for your faction, but now you have to wait until your faction's playing or your tech base is playing. So you're basically rolling a die anyway. So let's just put it in this other system. But I don't think there's such a dedicated player base for Solaris. I think there are some who still do play it. Though my stupid idea would be, if you're PGI, what you do is you get all the files for Solaris, you press copy, you go to Mechwarrior 5 and press paste. And I know it wouldn't really work that easily, but just throw Solaris into Mechwarrior 5. Why not?
We don't condone this, but like most of Solaris is, hey, Lars, let's go into Solaris. We need headshots for our event. Okay, you sit there, boom. Okay, I'll sit there, boom.
Yeah, right.
You
Yeah,
know?
those are the worst ones. All right, but anyway, so we should probably get moving on, because the next thing we have up is growing on to Battletech on the Kickstarter.
Yeah,
So-
just some small updates on the Battletech Kickstarter. We're getting kind of close to the shipping date. I think they had been targeting late March of 2020, which would be in 2 months. So obviously the pledge manager is going to be closing on February 9th. So if you want anything for the first wave shipping in March, you have to submit it until February 9th. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get it in wave 1. Worst case, you might not be able to get it at all. I don't know if they're gonna give you a late ship with wave 2, perhaps, maybe not. But just to be safe, submit it until February 9th. And I guess, just to mention, if you did buy a canon character during the Kickstarter, they sent out the first surveys for those who directly during the Kickstarter bought a canon character. If you bought a character later on, or if you have bought multiple characters, you're gonna get your survey link at some point during the coming weeks. So keep an eye open on your email account. Make sure check your spam if you haven't received the link yet. It's gonna be coming soon.
God, I would love to have a canon character like in this, in
Yeah,
Battletech, man.
I'm gonna have 2, and I have some really cool ideas.
Oh man, Old Bob the mechanic. I'm Old Bob. I'm gonna fix your mech. Love that. Oh man. So yeah, so the Battletech, just make sure you get your stuff in by the 9th, guys, because otherwise it's gonna be hard and you won't get it. I did get the Irby for $30. I got that, and it's pretty cool. I did get the plushie though, so, and I got the basic box set. I think I'm gonna give that to my wife just so that she has something to go play with and go read and everything. So that's what I did. But get it by the 9th, guys, if you can. So what's next on the list there?
Mechwarrior 5 patch notes. So we've been to expect a very major patch late January, and apparently this is the very major patch. So just in advance, before we dive into what's in there are a lot of things that were mentioned to be out in January, which we haven't gotten yet. And I did get some insider information. There's going to be another fairly major patch in early February regarding some of the performance rendering behind the scenes tech stuff. So if you're looking for something like NVIDIA RTX, I'm gonna guess that's gonna be part of the February patch.
Okay.
But for now, we have the January patch.
Some of the major things, which I mean everybody's been asking because it's been a pain in the ass, is the you can now sell mechs directly from cold storage. Because literally, I would have to actually take, if I have 12 mechs in my normal mech base, I have to take one of my mechs out, lose the build I had for it, and then put a cold storage mech into there, then go sell it through there. So that should have been day one. Period. That should have been day one, because that was the biggest one of the biggest pain in the asses I had to go deal with. So that's a good thing. As far as the joystick, you probably know more about that thing.
Well, they created a default joystick button bindings, so in theory, most joysticks should now work straight off the badge. I haven't been able to test it since I only use 2 joysticks, which are both supported by the game by now. So yeah, I'm hoping it works.
Okay.
That's kind of all I can say about it.
Thrustmaster.
Yeah, I saw it too. Thrust.
Yeah. The Thrustmaster is wouldn't be my main pick for a base layout, but hey, whatever works.
Yeah. Adding the ability to change anti-Mechwarrior modes. I never mess with that, because if I mess with that, it's going to screw everything up, so I don't touch it.
Yeah. Just turn it off and enjoy your extra performance.
Okay.
Yeah, I usually personally don't care much about AA, so I usually put it to a lower setting.
Social overlay subheadings can now be collapsed. You were talking about this earlier, Ian, right?
No.
No, actually,
did
it was
not,
Biter.
because I have no idea what that is.
Yeah.
I was speculating about it
Mhm.
earlier before the podcast. I was saying the close example I have is from Steam, where if you open up your friends list, there's your online friends, offline friends, groups you're in, and you can minimize different parts of it. You can also make the
Yeah.
window wider or taller and stuff. And I imagine there's some kind of social overlay involved in the Epic Games thing, and you can now just edit it so it has less clutter. I think that's my guess.
Yeah.
Minor improvement.
Yeah.
This one I don't get. Create separate movement controls for the dropship navigation and mech
That's
controls.
really easy. It's basically first person on foot. You can control it with WASD, and then on the Mac you might control it with, I don't know, arrow keys. So you separate out those two controls, because obviously going on foot and going in a Mac are totally different.
Yeah, that's
So you
true.
can separate them now.
I mean, I just use the WASA keys, and it works out fine for me.
I kind of want to put everything back to front on shipment navigation, just so my pilot is drunk when he's not in the Mac.
And you wouldn't even notice for the most part.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I know.
All right, gameplay and mission fixes. There have been a lot of bugs with mostly the quest system where oh no, that's the next segment. I'm gonna skip a segment real quick. Mission and reward fixes. A lot of the story quests and from the quest system have been bugged where they don't give rewards, don't give the correct rewards. Plenty of stuff that annoyed people, and now it's fixed. So this is good to know, because this is a segment where PGI proactively asked what people had for issues. They listened to what people had issues and made certain that everything they heard was indeed fixed.
I did the story mission. They gave me a Gauss rifle, but no ammo for it. Now it has ammo too. Yay!
Yay! Like, what annoyed me really hard was the pirate hunt mission. You complete a really annoying 3-part mission chain which doesn't really give you any rewards.
Mhm.
And at the end, you're supposed to get some Gauss ammo, which is great because I needed Gauss ammo at a point. I had plenty of rifles, but no ammo. And then the mission was bugged.
Ooh. Ouch.
So,
Oh, dear.
yay, now we get ammo from it.
That's harsh. That's harsh. They're all psych. You don't get any ammo.
Yeah, and then for the actual gameplay mission fixes, what I just accidentally skipped, they basically fixed a bunch of stuff with the contracts and allegiance, like the Federated Commonwealth was behaving somewhat weird. Comstar is no longer available as an enemy, which, damn it, I wanted to fight Comstar more.
Yeah, and Canopus now uses...
It seems such a Comstar thing to do, where they're like, okay, we're only going to let some Gauss rifles go out into the wide public, but we're going to clamp down on all Gauss rifle ammo.
Yeah, make it totally
I would do it
scarce.
the other way around, because Gauss rifle ammo is literally just a ball of iron. So you do it the other way around.
Yeah, just shove it in there.
But you
Most
can't
ship
reproduce
ton
it
of 10
otherwise.
tons of ammo.
It's just too high tech.
Oh my god.
Somehow.
The most
Can't
important
melt
thing,
down
though,
iron into balls.
most important thing is Canopus now uses the periphery-like icon. That's the most important thing of the whole thing, right there. I have to go say.
Let's move on to
Okay.
the
Okay, go on.
yeah, bunch of bug fixes. I guess if you're really interested in all of those minor things, just go ahead and read the patch notes. Anything major you guys found in there?
I look through all the bits and pieces, and I'm just like, this is all quality of life. The biggest one I was kind of raising my eyebrow about was just mech-related fixes, where they said mech hitbox tuning pass for the following chassis. So like Banshee, Kantara, Urban Mech, and Crap. I don't know if those mechs had any problems, but the classic example I bring up is just simply the Hunchback, because there's no quirks. The Hunch is a huge target, and it's where all your weapons are mounted, and it gets blown off easily.
The first thing I shoot, man.
Yeah, I think it's more related to stuff like the front and rear, like especially in the Crab. I noticed you can shoot it from the side and shoot off its back. Because the Crab has this kind of back section that peeks out, and most of that was considered rear torso. So I'm assuming stuff like that is what They're more
Yeah,
thorough.
because
Yeah.
they have
Not so
like
much the actual hitboxes.
lower, they have the Thunderbolt as well. It's upper, rear, right torso. Used to just apply damage to the front. So I think they're just making sure if you hit the front or back, it applies damage to the front or back.
Mhm.
But I want
Yes.
quirks.
Yeah, most of this is just quality of life changes, like you said, and bug fixes and things they kind of found and people told them about. So it is a big patch. They do a lot of different things on this patch, but like we were talking about, it's just it's a bunch of things that like, oh, okay, we got to fix this is wrong with it, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So that's
The
good.
game,
That's fine.
the game does need a lot of polishing
Yeah.
to make sure it actually works
Mhm.
properly. Like, biggest obvious example is just not giving you the ammo for the weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are obvious mistakes, but I want in the future for patches to also try and make the game more fun.
Mm-hmm.
If they've heard of that concept before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I want them to actually have like immersion like into the game, because I'm literally like, we keep on saying, why don't it just do HBS Battletech with first person shooter? That's just do that. It basically be so much better. But we want some type of, at least for me, I want immersion and to be sucked into the game.
Oh, I mean, everyone wants that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but I don't feel that immersion. I just feel like, okay, well, I'm gonna go do this mission, and here's how I do this mission exactly. And basically to make sure that say like a demolition, get a light mech, run through the buildings, go and take off. For this mission, go over here, do that, and take off. Basically there's no real immersion effect like, I am a mech pilot, I'm gonna I gotta do some things, and it doesn't have that.
That's why I didn't get it yet, because I was getting that Star Trek Online feel.
Oh really? Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, they
Yeah, I
actually
was
added.
watching it.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, but I was like, oh boy, it's like Trek Online, space battle, ground battle, space battle, and rinse and repeat. I was like,
Yes.
oh,
Yeah.
man, it's like that again.
That's the reason why I actually stopped like STO. I used to stream that like every single second, man, and
Mhm.
I just got to a point where I do not want to fight in a freaking ship again.
Yeah, I mean, granted, like, kind of like I think you're gonna say they have added some new stuff to it recently.
Yeah, they have actually. Which is cool, but yeah, the grind issue is one of the things that really got me. Yeah, it definitely got me like out of that. But just make Mechwarrior 5 fun. Make it into actually you're a merc company where you actually care about your pilots. Because I don't give a flying flip about my pilots, basically. But in BattleTech, I'm like, oh my god, Jesse died. Oh my god, no! Like that type of thing. I feel a attachment to the pilots. I feel attachment to the mechs. But this is
kind of off topic, but Glitch is best girl.
Yeah, Glitch is awesome.
girl.
But you can change the voice under customization. You can change
I mean, I'm not gonna fight you on that.
Yeah,
because
Glitch
you're
is
not wrong.
Cool. Yeah. and save Decker, guys.
Yes,
save Decker. Save Decker. See, like that type of meme. Where's the memes of the Mechwarrior 5 guys?
Yeah. It's
none.
exactly it. In BattleTech, like, I haven't even finished BattleTech still, but even I'm like, I know what the like immersion of the memery is.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of stuff you want from Mech 5.
Yeah, exactly.
Sadly, the biggest meme from Mech 5 is, I think, just the King Crab stepping on the commando's head. It's so pointlessly cruel.
Well, okay, well, there's that, but isn't there also a pilot that's also wearing the like junk armor or whatever it is? This big old like cylinder head.
Yeah, that's
there's
old.
the original.
Yeah. He's like a crazy bio. I was like, that's incredible.
For the most part, the only meme that I'm familiar with regarding the Mechwarrior 5 pilots is the fact that you put them out the door whenever you can.
Yeah.
And B, their newer helmets look like infantry special forces helmets.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, in this case, a space helmet. Like, what the fuck is this supposed to be?
I don't think you just punt them out the door. You punt them out the airlock.
I punt them out the airlock, man. Screw
Let's
you
get outta
guys.
here.
Oh, you're 54. All that 55 guy's coming in, so you're out. Basically, type thing. That's basically what I do now. I have no attachment to the pilots or even the mechs. Well, the mechs themselves, I think I have attachment because I'm looking for certain mechs to go play with, right?
Mhm.
But like but with BattleTech from Harebrained Schemes, I'm like, oh my god, dude, I got this mech. I'm so happy. Oh my god, but like
because they seem super rare in BattleTech.
Yeah.
But also the fact that they like, now granted, I haven't played MechWarrior 5.
You can
so
actually
correct me
edit
if I'm
them.
wrong.
Yeah, you can actually edit them too.
But correct me if I'm wrong. But I feel like in BattleTech they gave like a background description that made them seem like more, I hate to use the term epic, than what they like are in MechWarrior 5.
They had like a suggested role at the bottom, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. It was
Well,
nice.
well, even in Mechwarrior 5, they actually have like,
Like-
you know, this is produced here from this company, that type of thing.
Yeah, but they only
Okay.
have one description for the whole chassis, whereas Battletech has a description for the specific variant, which,
Oh,
Mhm.
especially since Mechwarrior 5 is Hero Max, seems kind of odd to not have a special description for Hero
Yeah.
Max and just put in the generic stuff.
yeah. You know, it's true. Like, I'll basically get a hero mech, like, get the hell out of my mech. Basically, like, throw him out the airlock and like,
Just
this is
boot him
mine
out.
now. This is mine. That's basically what it is.
I command this mech, but all right, but anyway, but just
Yeah,
because for
sorry.
time's sake, let's move on to I see that Ian already has the Mechwarrior 5 editor is going to be released.
All right.
Yeah.
The mod editor, it's something we've been waiting for long. Something we had hoped to get on release date. They've delayed that into late December. Then Epic had some issues, so now it's finally out on, I believe, January 13th. It came out. There's some good stuff you can do with it, but for the most part, I personally think it's very underwhelming. I was
Really?
expecting a bit more. The best thing you can really do is map editing and equipment. But it doesn't really give you the options to just import mech models. That's kind of the one thing that I was hoping for, to give you the tools to import a model you've done in Blender or Autodesk or whatever software you use, then to rig it inside of Unreal Engine, do the animations, and export it into the game. That's not
'Cause,
something the mod editor does.
We wanted to put in the Slowpoke into Mechwarrior
Yes.
5.
Yeah.
Yes, the model is done, but I'm not gonna go through the trouble of downloading a completely separate Unreal Engine kit to do the animation.
Well, there are other modders out there too that are doing different things. I know TTB and I think Father Bill have been using like a couple mods for what I
Yeah.
saw, but
But they've been doing ones that give you simple quality of life improvements that should have been in the game.
that should have been in the game.
Like
Yeah,
paint
Copy
saving
pasting
and stuff
paint
like
schemes.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I mean, there are a couple things like out there, but you know, modding community will get better or bigger. You know, basically like once the stuff starts getting out there.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
kind of disappointing because we were promised these amazing modding tools, and that's why we haven't seen a lot of mods yet.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, that's why still many of the people who want to mod the game hold off on it, because we don't know what we're gonna get in the future.
Yeah.
Are we going to get that tool to just rig up make models inside of Unreal Engine, or do we not? And that's something we kind of need to know before we get started. Because again, I'm not going to build my custom tools if I'm expecting PGI to provide them at some point soon. TM.
Yeah, true. Huh. I think we're gonna go more into modding for a future episode, though. Correct? We're gonna go into more of that.
Yes, as
Okay.
soon as we get the news on the mod editor version 2, we're definitely gonna talk about it more.
Okay.
Yeah. Only thing I have to mention is that little preview image at the top, the orange mech with all the weapons around it. I approve because it's almost like they know what people want to fix.
Yeah.
First things
The
first.
mech.
Just the hard points, so you could put different weapons on it and really
Yeah.
make it your own mech.
Yeah. True.
That's so true.
Okay.
So that could be like one whole podcast right there. You know, we can really get into some more modding if we do.
Yeah, and I'll try to get a special guest that knows that's been modding and knows a lot about that as well too. So if you're out there modding, let me know, and we'll get you on the podcast.
Yeah, basically you, or if you know someone who might want to hop on to get their mod out, and let us know so we can spread the word.
Actually, that's a new segment, modding on the First Circuit
Modding.
podcast. Yes.
Boom. Yes. Okay. So the next up thing we had is a Mechwarrior 5 interview. So what is this, from the UnrealEngine.com site?
Yeah, this is just okay. I don't think we're gonna go too much into detail, but it's there's an interview done by someone from the Unreal Engine team, Jimmy Fang. He interviewed Russ Bullocks and I forgot the other guy.
Alex Garden,
Okay.
the producer.
Okay. Yeah, Alex Garden,
producer, and he basically attempted to ask a lot of Unreal Engine related questions, but he was talking to two producers rather than engineers, so I guess it's somewhat fun to read the responses, but also somewhat frustrating.
How did you do the particle effects? We made sure there were different particle effects, and the particle effects looked awesome.
We gave the money to the engineer.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like can you elaborate on how you developed the AI? Was it a challenge to navigate across procedurally generated maps? And then he's like, yeah, there are so many different things the AI needs to consider. There are so many different max and so many different ranges and so much challenge. End of
Oh,
question.
Okay.
And I'm
So
like,
much.
okay, can you
So
tell us about the actual question?
so much nothing and so little wow.
It's very politician type answers. Just I have a message. This
Yeah.
game is fun. Buy my game.
But
Mhm.
granted, in his defense, he is the producer, so I kind of wish they would have had the actual technical engineer kind of people on for that interview.
Yeah, and
It-
that's
kinda
just
like
kind of
a-
like you're going into an interview with someone from Unreal Engine.
Mhm.
Don't you
Yeah.
think you maybe should have an engine tech with you?
Kind of like a
Maybe.
dev AMA. Should have some devs in there, right?
Speaking of which, AMA
Oh.
is coming up soon.
Yes, they were going to announce the date for an AMA. Well, at the time of this episode going live last week, it's gonna come at some point during the coming days. So if you're listening to this, check the Twitter of Russ Bollock. Chances are he's already announced the date.
And I'll leave links
And
down
it's
below
gonna
too.
go into mod sharing. This part's interesting because obviously Epic does not have a workshop system. Future patches, DLC blends, stuff like that. So I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to that because that
And
is
I-
something we know absolutely nothing about.
Yeah, and I
Just
love
like
how
the game.
and I love how the very first response is the I hate to be that guy, but any chance on a little word from Mechwarrior Online as well. And he says he can touch on it at the AMA. So it's not like they're going to have a separate AMA for Mechwarrior Online. It will just be touched upon lightly in this AMA.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, as ever, with Mechwarrior 5. Hopefully, they won't try and keep us so much in the dark as usual
Yeah.
about the game's development. It's just, what are your plans going forward? Oh, well, I haven't even told you guys about the mercenary campaign yet, and I don't. But we want to keep that under wraps. We don't want to spoil it for any new players out there.
Yeah, it's kind of like I don't think they're gonna try to keep us in the dark. But I
Hey,
kind of
Ian,
get the
your mic
feeling
again.
they might
Your
do
mic
it
again, Ian.
accidentally.
Webcam, Mike.
God,
How's it keep doing that? I think did we lose Ian?
I think we lost.
Oh,
Ian.
he's just fiddling with settings.
Oh,
There we
okay.
go.
Okay.
Yeah. Like for some reason, Windows occasionally just loses track of the microphone I've plugged in. And I
Weird.
have to reset in Discord, so sorry about for the extra editing.
Ah,
It's fine.
no worries.
I got nothing else to do, so it's cool.
Yeah. I was just saying, I don't expect them to specifically keep us in the dark, but I get the feeling that they might accidentally keep us in the dark anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to do a Hello Games No Man's Sky promise the world kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you also you want to hear
It's
their
5
vision.
times the environment.
God,
Well,
that was
Ever.
horrible.
you want to do the Hello Games post-release thing, where they actually just sat down, ignored all the media, and just made the game
Yeah.
better. That's what you want to do at this point.
Well, that's what they had to do, basically. Yeah, like I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Granted, actually, Biters was kind of joking, but that's actually what No Man's Sky did.
Yeah.
That they ignored all their press, and apparently the game is very good now.
Yes.
It-
Or
it's
better than it
great,
was.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have not tried it yet, but like it was I believe the internet historian did a video on it, and I watched it, and I was like, I gotta check this shit out now. But anyway,
Exactly. So yeah, the AMA is coming out soon. That's going to be interesting to see what they'll be talking about MechWarrior Online, MechWarrior 5, and the futures of these games as well. Oh man, I just hope they have something good for MechWarrior Online because I don't see it going past like this year. Like I think,
yeah,
but who knows? We'll
yeah.
we'll
Have
have
to
to
wait
figure
and
it out.
see.
Yeah.
I kind of agree.
I would
with
like to
Tyler.
say now's the time to sell your stocks and sell your accounts, but you get like
There's no one to
$5
sell
for
to.
Yeah,
yeah, you get like $5 for a $500 account. So
Actually, there were
Yeah.
people that did that before too. They were selling their
yeah,
accounts.
and
Yeah,
they made such an amount of loss from that.
I know.
It's so insane how cheap you can get like really high level accounts from McNish Online.
I mean,
Wow.
just my account alone, just on Steam, not through the normal thing through Mechwarrior like online, just through Steam is like 4,000, no, 5,000 hours, right? and that's just through Steam, not through the other thing. Because I played another 2 or 3 more years, like on the
Yeah,
normal
Launcher.
yeah,
and that's
launcher.
that's just the time you put in. That's
Yeah.
not even all the money you've put in.
Yeah, exactly. So money, max, free stuff. God, there's so much stuff. But then I could probably
I
get
mean,
about $6.
I guess, guys, if you want to try out Mechwarrior Online, go on eBay. Chances are good you can pick up a leveled
I didn't
account.
know that's a thing.
Oh, I didn't know either, actually. Damn. Go to eBay. Yeah, let me
Go
check
to
this out.
eBay and find some accounts.
eBay. Mechwarrior Online.
Now, technically speaking, in terms of service, you're not supposed to do this, but
Yeah, don't do it.
yeah, I'm not.
No, actually, they don't
Well-
have any stuff. They have models of figures, basically, and that's it. Yeah,
Oh,
that's all
okay,
they
well,
got. So
that's fine then.
I'm just gonna say I've seen a lot of accounts on eBay.
Yeah.
I mean, they have been there. Don't get me wrong, because I heard about
Yeah.
them. But yeah.
Well,
Anyways,
I'm not even going to dive into that. So, but anyway, so I think, yeah, so that AMA, we're going to be holding off on saying what date it will be. But once we know, we'll probably make a formal announcement on our Twitter, I would assume, and on the next podcast. All right. So I think that kind of wraps things up, guys. What do you think?
Yep, definitely
Yeah.
wraps it up.
All right,
Let's go to
great.
bed.
Well, hey,
Let's go
let's
to bed.
go to bed. I am gonna go get some lunch, but it was hey again, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to the First Look at Podcast number 112,000, whatever we're doing. This has been Lars, your casual mech warrior, with Oldbob,
Hey.
Ian,
Bye-bye.
and Biter.
Grolb.
Good
All
lord.
right, everyone. See you later.
See you later.